Formula D Round 5, Seattle, Evergreen Speedway. Love this place. Best finish here was third back in 2009, so I was really trying to up that.
Formula D Seattle is one of the faster tracks in the series. Like a fourth gear entry, long sweeping right turn bank, coming into what they call the power rally infield, where we do a really quick, fast, aggressive transition going into a right turn. So the outer zones on the wall are really hairy per se. You're carrying a lot of speed through the bank, and you got to get your rear end on the bank. So there's not much room for error here. So do I like it? Yeah, I really like it because it's extremely fast. There's a lot of very experience here, and the bands here are phenomenal.
I really have a good feeling about this event, but so far this year I haven't got the first place yet, so this one I really want to win, and especially this track I won last year, so I know I could do it.
一応シリーズ今2番なんで、なるべくシリーズ、順位も上げたいし、落ちたくもないんで、なるべく表彰台に登れるように頑張ってやります。
Had the Camaro out there in practice. This thing was just hooked up. I was so happy with it. We just made some small changes just to free it up on the bank a little bit in practice, but was just feeling really comfortable. Only did a couple of runs in the last practice because I felt so good going into qualifying. First run in qualifying, I really didn't change much, but the track changed quite a bit. So going into the bank, just a little too hard, and coming off the bank, just barely grazed the wall, but just straightened me up enough to where they gave me a 0. So I was pretty bummed with that because I typically am pretty easy on my first run, and that meant everything was on my second run.
So for the first run, I tried to stay high on the bank. Coming off the bank, I threw a lot of angle, and then coming into the infield, I guess I shallowed up a little bit. So some points were deducted there, and that's why I ended up with the 81.
Right now, Daigo's in second in points, so it's a bit frustrating because he's not looking too good at this event. So I'm just hoping that what he does normally, which is qualify mid-pack and just kill it in competition. So I think you'll see a little bit faster Daigo coming out for the competition.
Whoa! That is a lot of tires off.
Good luck. You got this.
I pretty much messed up from the beginning. I initiated a little too early, and then I couldn't keep the car on the high on bank. And then I kind of like correction. I made a big correction like beginning of the bank, and then since then, my rhythm got kind of messed up.
Sorry. Now let's see if they give you a score or not. They gave you a 0. Got it. Sorry, guys.
Relax, bro.
I know.
It was all or nothing at that point. Go out for my second run and just put a pretty conservative run together. Nothing too crazy, but I did get a lot of angle coming off the bank, which I've been doing all day long, so there's nothing like a mistake.
Here we go. Tyler McCoy currently does not have a score. He is not in top 32. This is do or die for the Mobil 1 Chevrolet Camaro. Oh, a big correction here.
Definitely slowed me down through my transition in the power alley, and they didn't like that at all, apparently.
Tyler the Rock McCoy with his 66.
As I came back over to the pit, Eric O'Sullivan came over the radio. I was like, okay, they gave you 66. That's putting you 31st. And I knew I was in trouble because on the first run, Dai got a 0, Daigo got a 0, Reese got a 0, and they were all in front of me.
Hey guys, how you doing? Kenji Sumino, great performance. And qualifying, he was very confident going in and confident and comfortable with the car. He did a pretty decent qualifying.
Here comes Ken the Goosh Egretti Scion FRS on Hankook tires.
The second run, I tried to clean it up as much as I can, but I missed the last 2 inside clipping points, and I only went up 2 points. So we're here with the 83.
Qualified 14th, and I think we're brackets pretty good with what we have.
So now is crunch time. Dai Yoshihara with a 0. This is do or die. Literally, D-A-I, Daijiro Yoshihara needs to get a score or he's not in the top 32. He is currently third in points in the championship. Is he going to make it in the top 32? And also, currently sitting in 32nd is Tyler "The Rock" McCory. He is potentially going to take out Tyler McCory, who is currently in 32nd. Dai Yoshihara playing it safe. Some strategy here as the pressure mounts around the final clip. It looks like Daijiro Yoshihara will be making the top 32.
で2本目、失敗しないように、安牌で走って。
Daigo the Ninja Saito in the Achilles Radial Lexus SC430. Daigo Saito having issues with his vehicle, taking it hard into the wall yesterday.
練習日からちょっとあまり車の調子も良くなくて何回かぶつけちゃったりもしてて、完全に治りきってはないんで、今もあんまり車の調子は良くないんですけど、頑張りたいと思います。
One of a fan's favorite. He has a 0 on his first run. He needs to get a score on the board in order to make it a top 32, and he's currently sitting second in points. A very safe run by comparison to some of Daigo Saito's runs earlier this year, as Daigo Saito, the Ninja, sneaks up on the competition, and he gets a 79.
結果が21番でした。
I knew a couple of those guys were going to get some solid scores, and so I was absolutely blown away. And I haven't not qualified, I don't think, ever. So to have that happen here, where I was anticipating having a really good run and was running so well in practice, was such a tough pill to swallow. I'm just hoping to wrap up this season and really turn it around for Mobil 1 and Yokohama, GoPro, all the partners we have on this program, and the team especially.
All right, welcome to round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. My name is Jared Deanna, the voice of Drift. Right now, I want to break down the track. I'm with my co-host of Formula Drift TV and co-founder of Formula Drift. Look at that smile, so adorable. But in all seriousness, I want you to break down the course, what the judges are scrutinizing, and how the judges have laid out the course for today.
Now, an important thing that the judges wanted to bring up is what is a 0 in tandem? Well, there are 8 specific things that they brought up. So as a fan and you're watching at home, here at the event, you can keep this in mind. The first one is a spin. That is a 0. Second is loss of drift. Third would be an understeer. 2 would be 2 tires off or more based on the outside edge of the painted line. If at any time your hood, your hatch, or your doors open during a run, not due to contact, that is a 0. An illegal pass is a 0. Drifting straight is a 0. And a driver deemed responsible for contact that results in a car spinning or losing drift will also be a 0. Now it is time for tandem. Let's get in the top 32.
The third place driver in the championship on your right, Dai Yoshihara, and on the left is going to be Dennis Mercedes.
All right, all you got to do is just a nice lead run, nothing crazy, just do what you're doing, and follow run should be pretty good. You got this.
The guy's going to be initiating first. Dennis is going to be following. You see Dennis taking a little bit lower line, trying to get closer to Dai. Good smoke from both drivers. Extra angle from Dai as he exits the bank, but Dennis is able to handle that pretty well. Looks like Dennis' team has done their recon on this. Coming in, Dai is able to pull away around that first inner clip and the second inner clip.
Nice lead run, Dai. Nice lead run. You're slightly shallow in the power alley, but otherwise nice. Dennis was not able to gain proximity on you, so I'd say advantage you.
Dennis Mercedes is going to be leading now. So shallow angle from Dai looked like a little bit of a bobble on initiation, but able to close that gap. Some extra angle from Dennis, possibly 2 tires off there. Gonna have to be tough. Oh, Dennis taps the wall.
Dai, that could be bad because you hit him pretty hard. At all. Please tell him I didn't even touch him. Oh, you did not touch him? Oh, I didn't hit him at all. You got it, you got it. Good job, Dai, good job.
That's actually going to set up a rematch with Reese Millen. So
yeah,
Dai versus Reese in the top 16. This is going to be a great top 16 overall.
I'm going to have to hand flag you guys. So, point now.
So for the top 32, we were matched up against Kenneth Moen, and for the first lap, apparently he called a false start on me. From what I remember, I remember seeing the flagger's hands both go down. And then I also saw his car lunge forward, so I thought he was right next to me. And when I was at the end of the straightaway, the flagger that's standing there that's supposed to stop me wasn't waving his flag, so I thought, you know, okay, clean call, let's keep going.
You're talking about that whole situation of the restart, and you saw it being used right there by Moen. which means this is all for nothing for Gucci.
But when I looked back after I finished the course, he wasn't there, so I called in my spot. I was like, hey, what happened? He's like, hey, they're calling a false start on you, so we have to go one more time. And at that point, I was already like pissed off beyond belief.
It'll be interesting to see how that's ruled, because I'm not sure if he didn't see the flagger that was warning him. We're staring at that orange cone, that ominous orange cone right now. That's the one that you must stop by in order to request a rerun. Moen gonna have to wait for Gucci to catch up to him. Here we go on the bank. This is the part that counts the most. Gucci got a little bit higher line on the bank. Moen not far behind him. Some good angle for both drivers coming off the exit of the bank, back through the power alley. Moen takes a little bit more shallow angle, shallower line to try and catch up to Gucci. So this is the second half of the battle between Gucci and Moen. Here we go. Moen's gonna be leading this time. Gucci's gonna be giving chase. Here we go with Moen initiating into the bank. Up on the line, you can see him, see those banners shaking. He's definitely got the higher line from Kenny Moen. Ooh, at least one tire off. Go back through the replay again because they definitely want to see the line. Yo, this is Moen leading, so that is definitely one tire. That's the outside line.
We ended up taking the window. Clean and clear, moved on to the next round for the top 16.
So you're seeing two drivers in right-hand drive cars.
とりあえずまず、次がベスト32の追走なんで、相手がファルケンのダレン選手で上手なんで、まずそれに勝つことを考えてやりたいと思ってます。
Daigo's been struggling all weekend, trying to get used to this banking. A good high run. Oh, Darren into the wall. Continues on the track. Wow, that was a major mistake from Darren McNamara. He's going to try and finish this run out. Daigo Saito got the win there, setting up a very interesting top 16 battle.
For the top 16, we were matched up against Yoshioka, and he's in the RSRS 15. He was looking good all weekend, so we knew we had a tough matchup. And what was funny was when he was leading for the first lap on the straightaway, his hood popped open, flew off the car, and I thought he was going to stop, but he kept going, man. That guy is a maniac.
Yoshioka is leading as the higher qualified driver. He completely lost his hood.
And kept on going, and I got to give credit to both of the drivers.
Definitely.
I kept going, followed him as best I could, even though there was a slight gap.
Again, looking at this handy list that we got that was discussed by Ryan Sage, losing your hood, hatch, or having a door open, even having them open on track, is considered a zero.
Once it came to swap positions, I just gave it my all.
Ken Gucci's going to be leading in this second run. Gucci got a good line up on that wall. Some good tire smoke coming off his hand-cooked tires. Here we go. Oh, Yoshioka into the wall again. And spinning out.
Towards the end of the bank, he clipped me a little bit, and I thought I was going to spin, but I held it through, and he spun behind me. So we moved on to the top 8.
So I'm going up against Rhys Millen again. You know, he's a great driver, but I knocked him out last event.
Here we go, taking off from the line. Daiyoshar is the higher qualified driver, so he will be leading, initiating into the bank.
Wow,
pretty high up on the bank, but it looks like Millen is pretty high as well. Some good smoke from both drivers. Here's the part that everybody's been having problems with, exiting the bank through the power alley. Looks like Rhys really had to slow down a lot, but able to close that gap over the entirety of the course.
Okay, Dai, good run, advantage you. Rhys was weak around the oval, and he went super shallow, and he barely got proximity.
Here we go with round 2. Rhys Millen's going to be leading in that turbocharged V6. Daiyoshar is going to be giving chase to Discount Tire V8. Here we go on the bank. Good high line for both drivers. Oh, Daiyoshar offline. Definitely one tire that dropped. We'll check for 2 later. Gonna get hard on the power through the power alley. Good smoke from Rhys coming off the end of the power alley.
Okay, Dai, you went 1 off coming down the power alley, but you were better at the bank and a little bit better proximity, so it might go 1 more time.
Rhys Millen gets the win.
Yep, Rhys got it.
I think it was 2 tires off for Dai, probably too much for him to overcome.
It looked like 1 out, but I guess they were saying 2 out.
Daigo might gonna lead, huh? Damn it!
My day ends so early, dude. Hopefully, other top competitors going to get knocked out pretty soon, and hopefully I will be still staying in like high in the championship point. Then next 2 rounds, I will do well. It's not over yet.
Here is the battle of battles. These guys have been up against each other's throats the last 2 rounds. In Florida, a lot of people thought that Conrad might have had the win, including myself, to be honest. Conrad's going to be leading as the higher qualified driver. He's just got to run his line, stay high on the bank, good smoke. That's what we're seeing so far. Again, not a lot of bank tracks over in Japan, so Daigo's having some trouble getting used to this. Coming through the power alley, that's probably the smoothest we've seen Daigo as a chase run. Conrad's just running his line. Not too close to the clip, but not too far off. Daigo's right on his door, tons of smoke. I think it's important to note, so Conrad made sure to ask some questions about whether you should be allowed to shallow up angle to gain proximity, and the response was you can. It will be considered a small deduction, but they want to see you re-add that angle when you gain that proximity. Interesting. So here we go again. This cone is not a pace cone. If you feel that you were wronged on the start, you are allowed to stop before that cone and restart. The judges want to see both drivers enter the bank at the same time. We know that Daigo has ungodly amounts of horsepower. So you'll see these guys line up again. The Achilles tires girls on the right, the Hankook tire girls on the left. Here we go.
Here we go again.
Conrad wants another one. These are the rules that were laid out in the drivers' meeting. You know, there's a lengthy discussion about what would be allowed and what would not be allowed. So it looks like a lot of discussion happening with Luke, the starter for Formula D, trying to explain things to Daigo, that they need to stay closer, getting off the line. Here we go. And we have full power past the cone. That's a great sign. Daigo's going to be entering. Wow. Conrad right on his door at the beginning, has to jump on the brakes in order to allow room for Daigo. Daigo's high on the bank. Some great angle from Conrad coming through the power alley. Yeah, this is where Conrad's really done well to suck up to the drivers. Closing that proximity. Switching back. Oh, Daigo spins out. Loses drift. That, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a 0. Yep, unanimous decision. Conrad Grunwald gets the win.
With the judging, I mean, personally, my opinion is it seems like Daigo's changed a lot of what's been going on. You hear the judges constantly say proximity now, and I think they realize that being close and, you know, offline, or even just, you know, not following the guy's line, but being close is kind of important. And just me personally, that's what it seems like ended up happening.
Then for the top 8, we were matched up against Conrad Grunwald.
When I'm leading, as long as I'm okay, you're fine, right? As long as you can like see me, and then I'll back off as you go in. So like it's like just before the cone. Thank you. Good luck out there.
He's also been looking good all weekend, so we knew this wasn't going to be an easy bracket and an easy win. I just knew that I had to give it my all.
Conrad's going to be leading on this as the higher qualified driver, initiating into the bank. Conrad taking a little bit lower line on the bank. Gucci started off higher, kind of coming down a little bit, closing up some gap, exiting the bank into the power alley through the transition. This is where Gucci's able to make up some ground. And Conrad spins out.
The good thing was on the first lap, he spun out in front of me, gave me an advantage.
Gucci going to be moving on.
It is what it is, and he spun out in the first lap, so we're thankfully moving on to our top 4 of the year, and we're really excited.
The Greddy guys are the ones that built the FRS. They've done an excellent job. As you can see by their results, even at this point, very new car, and Ken is a veteran driver. They're able to get the performance up quite quickly by the 5th event here.
The top 4, we were matched up against Ryan Turk.
This is the final 4, so these guys have already won 3 tandem battles coming into this. This is the best of the best in Seattle.
I thought I could get this guy, but man, he is fast on the bank. On a straightaway, I was able to keep up with him towards the end of the straight, and we entered together, but as soon as we got into the bank, my car started to misfire a little bit, and I noticed that it was getting slower and slower, and he was just pulling away from me.
A big gap going into the bank, and Turk is keeping the gap through most of the course here. We're not seeing a big proximity that they want to see till this final corner from Gushi.
I guess that kind of gave him the edge.
Ryan Turk gets the win. Ryan Turk earns his way into the final against Vaughn Gittin Jr. But before we get that far, we're going to have a Hankook tire shootout. You're going to have Millen versus Ken Gushi.
We lost in the top 4, but we were up against Reese for the consolation round, and by the time the third place position battle came, my car was just taking a shit everywhere. It was just misfiring, and it was going down on power, and it was just a wild ride. So when we swapped positions, and I was following really close to him on the bank, and then my car just took a dump. I straightened out, and I thought I was going to wad the wall, but good thing this car handles really well. The Hankook tires are really excellent for drifting, so I was able to keep the car off from the wall. But here we are towards the end of the event, actually at the end of the event, and we finished in 4th place, which is the best result for this car so far. So hopefully for Vegas, we can make the necessary changes to go in stronger and finish on podium. 1st place, baby.